What's up, folks? Been a while. Been a long while, but drone therapy is back. Gonna try not to be quite as crazy as it was before. Still wanting to have guest hosts on and maybe have some, some hobby grade stuff, some toy stuff too. I want to get back to what I was doing before. I'm not going to quite be the same guest host that was with before. Try to get some new faces in. Been talking to some people. Anybody that's interested that may be watching right now or may watch the replay, please feel free to get in touch with me, leaving the comments about what you like to talk about and what you want to get on for. Okay. Now, some things I was wanting to do in season 2 is introduce some new things, kind of like we always had drone news before. I want to do a segment called My Firmware Update, kind of like whether it be DJI, whether it be Autel or Parrot or something like that. If something comes out, then we'll all share it together and talk about the problems that are going on with it in that particular segment. Something else, I want to try to make drone therapy like every 2 weeks instead of like every week, because even though there's a lot of drone news and a lot of stuff happening, every week's kind of, you know, you're still grabbing at the same issues a lot the same week. So maybe every 2 weeks we'll have a little bit more to talk about and discuss and stuff. I also wanted to see who might have something like the bi-weekly drone joke of the week. In the first episode, Ron, was September last year, maybe. And no, Brian, this is the exact same camera that I had last year. Hey, Steve. Hey, Rich. Don't you do anything crazy. As long as it's bumper to bumper and you're stopped, then you can watch and talk. Otherwise, be careful and just listen. But yeah, other than that, getting back on track, I wanted to do the drone jokes. I don't care if it's an Alexa joke. I don't care if it's something you thought up that you thought would be funny that we could share with everybody. And I thought something cool would be like drone family photos. So like if you get, like, you know, everybody's always taking pictures of all their drones, and then you can, oh, there's been a new adoption this week, and you can show like pictures of your new whatever, you know. I just thought that would be something cool to share with everybody. Yes, it's a Logitech cam. It's the 1080 like Skype version or special version or whatever. But yeah, I wanted to do that. And then I thought we would, and I had some idea for something called Drone Busters once before, but I thought this way would be cool, is if it was like some footage or some picture that you took with your drone that was so awesome that it busted your drone, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, it can be toy grade, it could be pro grade, it could be hobby grade. And then we would have either, you know, straight raw footage, like you just took the picture and it was based on the settings. And then you could take that picture and we could have like an unedited and an edited division. We could have like a pro and a toy division. I just thought something like that would be cool. Oh, okay. Your scariest moment with the drone. I thought that would be cool to have segments sometime, like if a guest host was coming on and they could say, you know, oh, this happened, the GPS went out, or a motor failed and it started dropping and then it kicked back on, or, you know, something like that. And then that would lead into another segment called How I Lost My UAV. You know, so somebody could tell us about their best flyaway. And I'm sure we've all had enough of those to where we could keep the stories going forever. And since I've got that covered about what I would like to try to do this season and what I'd like to try to get going on, I want to talk about the people that have actually reached out to me and sent me some product to test. So basically I've made what I'm calling them a pro view, which is basically a commercial. And the first one is for the TG90 20,000 milliamp model A627K power bank. It's got the dual charging ports up here. They're fast chargers. And I've been using it for probably about 3 weeks now with iPads, with my DJI remote controllers, phones, everything. And I've recharged it twice, and it's charged everything I've had in with no issues whatsoever. So I'm beginning to wonder if the thing ever wears out. So if y'all get a chance, I made, like I said, a pro view about the TG90 power bank. It's on this channel, and there is an Amazon link if you would be interested in purchasing one. I don't get anything from it. It's just they were cool enough to send me one to test out. So I told them I would do that, and I will mention it as much as I possibly can to help them get some business. And with that being said, the other company that reached out to me in my little Tello group is ThiEye. And you can see I told everybody, I showed everybody in Coast to Coast Drones I was going to open this live tonight. So let's start. And we'll open it up and see what's in here. I know that Jason, I introduced Jason to the person that got me this, and Jason's already put out some videos and stuff. So this will be a little bit more onto that. So here we go. Y'all just holler at me. I can see that Ron was the last person that said something, but I'm trying to do this and look too. What was it like when I did the Mavic unbox? Watch me tear something up here. Oh! Watch, somebody's going to say, oh, you cut towards yourself, you idiot. Oh, here come Mommy and the dogs. Okay, so let's see, show the back and see what we got here. I don't know. Can you read the specs worth of shoot? I don't know. Not too bad. Okay, so is it a slide or is it an open? From which side? Trying to figure. It's one of them complex boxes. Oh, there it was. Okay. That's kind of cool. Here's our user manual. Ooh, oh, kind of neat prop guards. Don't think I would be using those, but okay, the battery was loose in the case. It doesn't seem to be an issue. Yes, our phone rings here. The battery looks actually smaller than a Tello battery. 650 milliamp. The drone itself looks about the same size. I don't know. Jay said that he thought his, yeah, it is a little soft. It is a little squishy, but I don't think it's that they're gonna snap real easy. It does have a unique face. I thought it looked kind of like that they had bought the Drone frames and had done something with them. Hey, Mike, what's going on? I'm sorry for the Mavic 2 Pro giveaway. I wish, dude. I really wish. But yeah, like I said, it looks very similar to the Drone. And what I was hearing is that it doesn't have the same programming as a Tello, so you couldn't use it with drone blocks as far as I know right now. But there is, let's see if I can get this up here so you can see it. There's an SD card slot. You can see right there. So yes, we'll definitely be getting better footage. Jay said that there was, looks like a USB, what, 2.0? Kind of like the old Android, yeah. Optical flow. See the little camera. It looks like, yeah, it's app driven, so you're gonna be using your phone. So you could probably do a booster on it. So you're getting some extra props. What else we got here? Oh, the little prop tool, and then your charging cable, which is cool because I didn't get a charging cable with my Tello. So, but yeah, the battery looks. Let's see. Let's just see. We'll put them side by side here. We'll put them heads up. I'm gonna grab the Tello. So let's just see what they look like side by side. Not much, Mike. They're building a deck out back. So if y'all hear something weird, like some grinding or something, it's them attaching the deck to the house. Okay, so here, let's put them, we got them side by side here. So, I don't know, pretty much the same. Let's take the prop guards off the Tello here. Wants me to do something stupid, snap and break and get all pissed off. Start screaming, I'm getting mad. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so let's see. Battery out, battery out. Oh, yeah. See, you can see. Here's the ThiEye battery. As you can see, this is the eye next to the Tello. Whoops, shit. So, what's the Tello? Is Brian still here? I'm trying to figure out what it is. I can't see right off the bat what the rating is. So I'm not sure. Apparently, it says that this little drone has an 8-minute to 9-minute flight time. So it's obviously a smaller battery, but it's got the SD card. That's going to be a pull on it and stuff. So who knows for sure? what all's going to happen. And some brief little specs on it. It has a 1-button calibration. So Jay's showed some of his videos. He's actually like 2 or 3 of them. He showed that he's done that. It has the joystick mode, has a gravity mode, it's different selfie modes. It has 2 speeds. It has 2 different joystick settings. It will work on iOS and Android platforms, iOS 8.0 and up, Android 4.0.3 and up. And as I said before, it is a 650 milliamp battery, and it runs on a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi frequency. So I will play with that a little bit. Oh, okay, Rich, you be safe. Thanks for coming by. So we'll see. I'll put them head to head with the Tello. But of course, now I got a bunch of extra doodads for the Tello. I got the Wi-Fi extender and the controller, and I don't think that this little boy has Bluetooth. So you're just going to be using your phone the whole time, which is cool. Hey, what's up? What's up? Glad you could drop by. I'm wanting to say Jaeger Scott, but I thought, I'm wanting to make sure before I would say it, but because that's what we would think of. The first thing that pops into my head is Jägermeister. So I don't want to say it improperly. Another thing that ThiEye sent to me, I thought that was kind of cool. I wanted to make sure I said the name right. They had sent me out this very nice little dash cam. See? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount that in the vehicle. And when we go to visit my grandsons, we always drive through the city. So I thought it would be really cool to drive through during the day, and you could see going across the bridge going into the city. And then maybe one time I'll drive through at night, and you can see what it looks like at night, because it's supposed to have some really cool low light settings and stuff. And as I said, once I get this stuff tested more, then I'll put some videos up about it. But since, like I said, I'm not going to say anything negative about them, because these people were cool enough to send them to me free. So I'm calling them pro views. So I hope that's cool with you guys, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to BS about it, because it's kind of hard when somebody sends you something free, even though there might be something wrong with it, to be like, rah! And I'm like, well, thanks for sending it, man. It might not work this way, but everything that that I've messed with so far, especially the battery bank, has been awesome. Is anybody in the house still? It seems like everybody's kind of very quiet. I was wanting to make sure before I see what else craziness I'll get into here. Something else too, if y'all ever get a chance, is to go check out some of the well, thank you, Steve, I appreciate it. It's kind of hard when you're the only one here, because I don't want to just jabber about stuff that's going to get you all bored and get you to leave. But like I said, the biggest thing that I wanted to do tonight was to let everybody know that I hadn't given up on doing this and everything, and I wanted to get into basically telling you what I wanted to do. I felt kind of, I don't know, towards the end of the last year, we kind of lost touch with everything. I had been hanging out with the bunch over on the Drone Network, and all those guys, and I kind of lost my way with them and went a different direction. And that was me. I still support those guys. If you get a chance, make sure you go by and check out the Drone Network. Make sure you go check out Drone Worship. Make sure you go check out Chris. What is it? I don't want to say his call letters wrong, because I did it once before and he got upset with me. But if you get a chance, go check out Chris Justice. So I don't want to say it wrong. But yeah. Well, the whole point that I wanted to do it earlier is, for me on this coast, it's like 3 o'clock. And then we have an in-home business where we take care of other people. So around the time that I was doing it before was like right after dinner. So I was having to rush upstairs, and I wasn't being able to help my wife as good as it was, before. So we're trying it a little bit earlier so as to not interfere with that stuff, and also not so be on so late so that people on the East Coast can still be on at a reasonable time and have input and stuff. Kind of like, when I was on before at 9 o'clock, like Rich couldn't have been on. And that was really cool, even though he's stuck in traffic, that, he was able to drop in and say, hey. But here lately, see, it's another thing too. I've noticed that there's a lot of people that are always talking about support here and support there. I love everybody that comes to my channel, and I try to see as much as I can. But a lot of people that come on here can actually stay on here constantly. They don't have responsibilities and stuff in the regular day-to-day world. And I try to get to everybody's channel. And if you look at things and you're on my channel and you comment on something, I try to go right then and look at your stuff, or very soon, because I get so overwhelmed with stuff that I can't get back. And it's not that I don't love your stuff. And it's the same thing with everybody else. It's not that they don't love your stuff. It's just that a lot of people can't dedicate 150% to just YouTube and to just watching all these people's videos. One of my favorite two people in the world, and they get beat on constantly, is the Pusa Studios in Canada. And they come on every night, and they just have they invite everybody in to chat and talk and get along. And a lot of times they get heat just because they support people. And I'm like, that's super cool. They shouldn't take heat. Nobody should have to worry about any kind of negativity, because there's always going to be somebody that doesn't like the way I talk, no matter what. There's probably going to be somebody that I might not like everything they say. And it's just the way it is. And YouTube's humongous. So, it's, we shouldn't have to worry about all the negative stuff. If people get mad, they get mad. I can't change their minds. But I do try to support everybody. What's Ron? What did it say, Ron? I actually worked today. Yeah, I had to look at that again. I saw Steve mention work. Wouldn't that be like one of them Maynard G. Krebs moments? Work. That's for only us old people. Nobody else would understand what's going on. Oh, I meant to say, hey, who all in here has bought a new drone or is considering buying a new drone? And it doesn't have to be a DJI drone. It can be a toy drone. It can be anything. It can be a hobby grade. It can be a racer. Oh, yes. And Ron, I saw that you're a big celebrity now, too, that you're publicly known as a drone operator on the World Wide Web. That was pretty cool. I saw that the other day. Let's see how this bad boy charges. I'll hook him up now. I already have the app installed on my phone, so that shouldn't be that big of a deal to see how long. I like how it charges in the back, though, instead of like the Tello does it on the side. That's one thing I like. It looks to be almost the same size, to be honest with you. How the hell do you know if it's charging or not? Don't tell me I got a bad one. Oh, no, it's charging. Okay. Yeah, she's lit up and glowing now. Can you see the eyeballs? I don't know. Oh, let's see. Her eyeballs are glowing. She's charging. Oh, no, her eyeballs went out. Now they came back on. What is this? What's the deal? Why are you... Okay, now I'm going to have to set this down and flip out. I hope it blinks. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I guess that's the thing. It was going off and coming back on. Of course, me, you know, first thing I'm thinking, it's a bad battery, man. They should stay on the whole time. But apparently it's like a pulsing thing. Very similar to the Tello, I guess, where it pulses till it stops. All right, Ron's going to be right back. Why does this... It almost makes me think of Gibbs rules or something. And again, I say, did anybody else get a new drone like this one? I've only flown it 3 times. Oh, yeah, that was something else. Bill, the drone reviewer, was on last night talking about the new DJI Go 4 update that gave some more hyperlapse control and stuff. And I'm not 100% sure. I was thinking he was saying that it was support for the new Apple iOS. Has anybody in here upgraded their Mini 4 to the new iOS and had no issues with DJI Go 4? No, I'm selling a DJI Spark, but no, my wife would probably neuter me if I tried to sell my Mavic Pro or my Mavic 2 Pro. So I would rather not have that happen. What's wrong? Are you okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, my wife just snuck in. I was checking to see if everything was cool. Sweet. What? I don't know. That's what I was trying to ask. If anybody else had updated and was having any issues with the new Go 4. Because I've looked at it. I know that I can update it. It's just that I'm worried that if I do, because I've heard all these horror stories. Have y'all heard the horror stories? Like people are saying they have like connections issues. Like the drone will get like, I don't know, 20 feet from home and it just loses connection. But they said that they'd reboot the controller, but it didn't connect. But I don't know. I've rebooted I've had a situation similar to that, but I just rebooted Go 4 and the controller and that connected. So I'm hoping that would be the same issue with this as well. Okay, so yeah, that's what I was curious about. I didn't know if I was really wondering, because I think Bill had mentioned, like I said, Bill the drone reviewer, he had Rotor Talk on last night, so be sure to go over and check out his replay of it if you don't know for sure what I'm talking about. Does anybody else gotten like maybe Polar Pro filters? Because apparently DJI is just going to keep jacking the price even though they're not for sale for the Pro. Or the case. I would love the case that was originally $89. That's now $120 and you still can't order it. So I don't know. Maybe it was you could order them that first day or something, and they just went so fast. Not for sure. Oh, and Ron, what you were asking me about the computer earlier, that's my son's computer there with, I got a good deal on the curved Samsung monitor. And so basically what I'm doing is like doing the graphics, the countdown timer. It took 27 hours to render that countdown timer. No, I was really thinking about trying, but I know they're super expensive, but I know they're like really, really, really good glass. So that's why I'm really considering Polar Pro. Because I know my Polar Pros that I've got for my for the Phantom 4 Pro, I love them. Hey, Rick, how you doing? How you doing? How you feeling too? Sparky, that's Mommy's chair. Yes, you know Charlie Brown had Snoopy. I have Sparky, the piebald wonder wiener. Right, buddy? You like to fly drones. No, you just like to bark at drones, don't you? You're on YouTube. You're like, yeah, I know. I got my own channel. My wife puts them on all her channels. Well, I hope the doctor gave you good news. Yeah, I got Polar Pros for my Mavic Air too. I just left my, what is on it? What is on the 16? Maybe, I don't know for sure. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Yes, 27 hours. That was on my son's computer. But what, there was like 14 effects on it. In order to build up the clock, there was like 3 different parallax effects. There was volumetrics on it. There were, so, but what I'm talking about, 27 hours was like individual renders of each part. So like I did the background with the rocks and stuff. Like, see, those all had like 6 or 8 effects on them. Like there was a chrominator effect. There was okay, and then when I did the re-render of the trailer, it was like find edges, and but yeah, it was, that's why it took so long. And it was just easier rather than to back up this computer, which is where I used to do all of my rendering, period. I can do a lot of stuff over there and just let it go and not worry about it, and then just jump it over here when I need it. So, and that one's not online, so I don't have to worry about, you know, the internet hitting it, or so it's just, it stays over there for that reason. I mean, eventually he's gonna get it back, so it's just cool to have in the meantime. That's another thing too. I love doing the video work and stuff, and I love creating the video effects. And see, that's another reason that I can't, well, not that I can't, that I don't get out and see everybody's stuff on YouTube all the time. Because I'm always wanting to make new stuff. I'm always, especially like a really good friend of mine, Jay Haynes. He's in Coast to Coast Drones, and he's also Film Sensei if you look on YouTube. And I've learned a boatload, I mean an absolute ton of stuff from that man on how to use Hitfilm, how to use the software. He teaches you in very simple ways how to use the software. He goes into detail about how to use different tools and how to get things to work right. And then once you get accomplished with the software, there's people like Mike Miller from Hitfilm University, and Javier Vaspar, and he actually works for Hitfilm now. So, but they have really in-depth and in like intermediate level and pro level tutorials. Another really a phenomenal kid that who only uses Hitfilm Pro, or Hitfilm Express, as far as I know, unless he's changed. And his name's Aiden Robbins, and he's like, I think he's like 16 now, and he's been putting out incredible films for like 3 or 4 years now, and I've not seen his earlier work, so maybe even longer. And I mean, he's unreal. And the first time I got to see him, he was, you know, he was kind of little cocky, a little arrogant, because he just had his little clique. But he's blown up to like almost 20,000, maybe even more than 20,000 subscribers in a little over a year, because he's that good. He teaches you a lot. He breaks down a lot of different YouTube people's styles and stuff, and he kind of tells you how to do them within the Hitfilm software, which is what I thought was pretty cool. Okay, now I would love to try Final Cut Pro, but I only have Windows computers, and I was under the impression that there was no really Final Cut for Windows. I think Ron used, what does Ron use? DaVinci Resolve, I think, is what Ron uses. I mean, I know it's free, but it seems like I was thinking that most softwares like that were. Oh yeah, sure, yeah, Steve. I can. I'll yeah, and you can holler at me in the group. I'll hook you up in the group too. A lot of those, like I said, Jay especially. And then of course, if anybody, it's another little group I run. It's called Technology Continuum on Facebook. It's got a lot of new stuff and information about videos and stuff like that. And yeah, that's what I was, yeah, I would love to try it because the people that I've talked to and stuff have told me it's very user friendly. It's you know, but I don't know. Hitfilm at first was kind of frustrating. Okay, yeah. Yeah, man, I love Adobe too, man, but that subscription just kills me. Can they just give me standalone software and let me buy an update here and there? That would be fine. See, that's what I love about Hitfilm. They have a yearly subscription, but it's basically like, yeah, I have power. I've got like I usually actually use one of the photo directors from Power Director. I've got one of the like two suites ago, like the 2016 version. I just hadn't gone up. There's a new I have been using some of my. Yeah, I was wondering. I didn't think that it had ever been on Windows. But I have been using some new photo software from a company called Skylum, and it's I've been using Aurora HDR Express, which is I'm thinking is like a $30 limited HDR program, and I think I saw it from a purchase link on Facebook, and it actually does have a lot of areas where you can. Like one of my most recent pictures, one of the first pictures I took with the Mavic 2 Pro, the big sunset, is I was editing it with Aurora HDR Express. And I also will use the, which one is it? Let me see. Photo Director, Cyberlink Photo Director 8 is the one that I use the most other than Aurora. And then actually the base Windows is okay. But I know none of them come close to Adobe products. You know, I would love to be able to just erase all my ghosting and get, because I don't have the expensive software. Yeah, but but the whole problem is I tend to forget, you know, about doing monthly or canceling monthly. And then 2 or 3 months later, when I've realized, okay, I've got, you know, and I'm like, my wife's like, why do you have these $10 or $20 charges? And are you even using that software anymore? No, I got mad and uninstalled it. And I forgot to, you know, so. Oh, it went up again? Okay, anyway, back on track. Get back on track. I was talking about Skylum. They have 2 softwares called Luminar, which I'm thinking the 2018 version right now is around about $70. I know that Ron might be busy. I know that Ron Brown has had experience with Luminar. And as I said, I've been using Aurora. And they're coming out with a new Aurora HDR, supposedly the 1st of October. It's going to run $100. But supposedly it's basically going to be on the level of Lightroom. That it's going to eliminate ghosting. All the artifacts are going to be gone. You know, there's not going to be the heavy pixelations, all that stuff. So they're offering, if you purchase between now and October 4th, a $10 discount. Hey, Kenny, what's up, man? But anyway, they're between now and the 4th of October, they're offering a $10 discount if you go talk to them and pre-order HDR 2019. And as I said, this is Aurora HDR 2019 from Skylum, Skylum. Pretty good company. Like I said, I like the product. it's done pretty good for me. Let me see. But my problem is, I guess maybe it's where I went to too many Grateful Dead shows. I tend to want to really blow out the colors, and maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, but I've noticed that the younger generation likes stuff that just it's not as vibrant, it's not as colorful, you know. And to me, it seems, I don't know, maybe it's just where I grew up on the old TV with the washed out colors and stuff, and that very male band, they've grown up with all the HD stuff, so maybe that's why they don't like it as much. But they're always saying, "Oh, you've blown it out this way, you've blown it out that way." So, like I said, it's just an observation on my part. Yes, hang on, here it comes, Steve. I am posting the link now. Well, okay. I'm okay. For lack of a better way to put it and get it over with fast, people would call me a DJI fanboy. I have the Spark, I have the Mavic Air, I have the Phantom 4 Pro, and I now have the Mavic 2 Pro. But I love all drones. I've got MJX Bugs products. I have, what else do I have? I have the Cheerson CX23 GPS drone. I have the Heliway, which is very similar to a little Bolt Bee. I have, I'm in the Nanos. I have the little Drocon right here. And it's actually got, you can put an SD card in it. I think it may be a 2 megapixel. I don't know. I've actually not put an SD card in it to find out. So, but yeah, I love drones, period. I mean, if I had an Evo sitting here for me to fly, I would fly an Evo. To be honest with you, I love the Mavic 2 Pro. Never in my life I've never heard a drone so quiet. It's 50 feet in the air. You don't know it's there. You don't have a clue. And I'm just like, yeah. And it was so funny because I was in the backyard. My wife and I were cleaning out our storage building because we had some varmints come in during the winter looking for a warm place to stay. So, and it was like 2 or 3 days after the Mavic 2 had been released. And I think I had mine. And then I'm sitting here and I can hear this just rip coming across the sky. And I look up and about 300 feet in the air, there's a Mavic Pro Platinum just tearing ass over my house. And I mean, he had to have been in full sport mode and he was just getting it, man. And then the next thing I know, he must have hit because I live pretty close to an airport. So he must have hit the boundary because I saw him bank hard all at once and it just turned back almost like he was going right back home. And it was just so cool to see that go ripping over. But basically, that's the thing about it is I'm enrolled in school to study to get my 107. Remote Pilot 101. I went there and used the Ken Heron discount. So make sure that you go check out Ken Heron's channel on Thursday Night Live. And he'll usually talk to you about his code for getting a discount on his channel. So make sure that I've never seen stuff so thorough. And I'm going to tell you straight up, I personally thought that I knew a lot about the drone rules and laws. And the first quiz I took, I failed like a big dog because I didn't pay attention. I didn't read the questions. And, I was like, wow. And because the whole time he tells you that they're going to trick you, they're going to set you up. And if you don't look carefully, you're going to miss a ton of stuff. And so I went back and I took the quiz again and I took my time. And, of course, I made 100 the second time, but it made me realize that, yes, I know it, but I got to take my time and pay attention because I just blew through it. And I was like, oh, I got all those right. And then I went back and looked at the wording and I was like, oh, man. And he tells you the whole time he's teaching you this class that they're going to try to trick you because they want you to pay attention. Well, I'm just telling you, me personally, Rick, I just kind of didn't pay attention when he was teaching. I was just kind of like, yeah, I know all this. I know all this. Yeah. I didn't even take notes. You know, I was like, yeah, next. Oh, quiz. Yeah, let's go. You know, 65. What? And there's only like 8 questions on that first quiz. And I was like, ouch. And then when I went back, all right, man, thanks for coming in. It was great to see you. And then, and like I said, I was just like, and I was mad. I was like, oh, this is, you know, and then I went back and I read the questions that I had answered wrong. And I was like, well, that's why, because I just saw 1 or 2 words and didn't look at the whole combination of words. And it was a completely different answer. And I just blew it. And I was like, so I'm, you know, yeah, I'm going to, yeah, exactly. That's what that's my theory now too, Rick. I'm going to go back and take all of them over and over and over and over again, and then go take the test. But I've had a lot of, my wife's just like, you know, you got a lot of these pictures and stuff. Why don't you sell them? Why don't you do this? And I'm like, well, I can't do it, you know. I said, because it's not legal for me. I'm not licensed. And she was like, well, you know, everybody else is doing it. So-and-so is doing it. You know, this one's doing it. That one's doing it. And I said, well, I'm not them. That's just me. I got no problem with what you want to do with your drone. Is your business, as long as you don't hurt anybody close to me or hurt anybody that shouldn't be hurt. That came out wrong. Or, you know what I mean? As long as everything's safe and the only person that could possibly be endangered would be you because you're flying the drone, I got no problem with it. You know, because that's your life and your drone. All good. But so I'm just like, I want to do this my way. I'll back you up 110%. You do have, you know, I'll tell you if your work's good. I'll tell you if your work, what I think your work is. However, this is just me. And there's been issues before when I've talked about 107 or brought 107 up. And I don't want any confusion. I'm just talking every time that I'm telling you all something. It's just my point of view. I'm not, you know, not trying to change your mind or anything. I'm just saying what I'm feeling or what I'm thinking. And I love everybody that comes in here. I'm grateful for everybody that comes in here. I'll do anything I can if I got the extra time to help anybody out that comes in here. Yeah, it's just like Kenny was saying. And Ken Cardoso, if you haven't checked out his stuff, you make sure you go check out his stuff, because Kenny puts up some of the best stuff I've ever seen. Mine's just different because it's all hippified. It's all about the colors and stuff. So it tends to pique another crowd's interest, I guess you would say. So I know that's what's so cool about. That's what I love about this whole genre here. I know YouTube started it to make money, but the people you meet and the really cool people you meet here about just creating, and they don't care about how many millions of dollars you make or you know what this algorithm says. That scares me, because when I hear somebody yelling at me, and again, this is my opinion, it makes me think that they're more concerned about the money and not the creation. And that's just me. That's just me. I would rather not make a dime and create something. Just like when I spent all that time making the intro and the lead in and stuff, I was proud of that. I was really proud of that. So that's all that matters to me, is I made myself happy. And yes, hell yes, it makes me feel tremendous when you all say, awesome, that's great, that's fantastic. But it's not going to destroy my day. I'm still going to create. I'm still going to make stuff. I'm still going to post it, even if it gets a bazillion dislikes. Even if I don't feel like open it up for like or dislikes. I'm not worried about all that. If somebody called me tomorrow and they said, "Hey, Bill, we want you to be spokesman for Adidas," might I be screaming a different story then? I don't know. Probably, yeah. But right now, I just like making stuff. I don't need all the, it seems like everybody's, oh, well, you're talking to this one, or are you liking this one more, or you're liking that one more. And like I said, I'm here to help anybody. And if I say something or you see something that I've made or created that you would like to take off on your own, and you would like my input on how I made it or how I did it so that you can kind of take some steps and do it and make it yourself, that's great. Just holler at me. Everybody here knows it sucks if you're talking about something and you got an idea about something and somebody that you're close to suddenly has that idea over here and they never said nothing to you. And it's not that you're mad at them. You're just like, hey, could you give me a heads up that you were going to do this? Because, maybe I was, and people get too upset and they're thinking, oh, well, it was just your idea. And then I did this and I did that. I'm like, I'm not saying that YouTube's wide open to everybody. As far as I know, there's nothing really that's gonna, unless you take somebody else's video, but I'm pretty sure that you could pretty much word for word recreate everybody's video, but put your name on it as long as you were the star and you were the one delivering the dialogue and you were the one doing the lighting and the editing. Nobody would really say anything because it's really cool when other people, emulate you and want to create stuff off your work. Just like all these people that do tutorials, and somebody will watch their tutorial and they'll create something like what they saw, and then they'll do a little bit more to it to make it their own. That's not stealing from somebody. That's creating. That's just furthering the whole process in my eyes. And we don't need all this stress of okay, you're watching Bobby Joe's videos instead of Sally Sue, and let's just watch everybody and have a good time and chill out and party. No, I'm a monster and rock star. I don't know. I drink Red Bull once in a while, but just something about the color and the flavor don't do it for me. But then I tend to overload on these sometimes after 3 or 4 days, and they don't do me any good either. And my wife's like, why are you only sleeping 2 hours a night? Maybe if you stop drinking all them energy drinks. So I'm trying not to quite do it so bad, but I've already had, 1 3/4 today. Well, like I was saying, Kenny, I'm human just like anybody else. Things bother me that probably shouldn't sometimes, but I'm just saying we just, the hell with it. Make yourself happy. If you can make yourself happy, screw everybody else on YouTube. That's what matters. And if you can be happy with what you're doing, that's it, man. Everybody else is going to realize that you're happy with your stuff and you're making your stuff, and you might have one video that's got 6 likes and 75 dislikes. But if it made you happy, that's the whole thing. It doesn't matter if somebody, because I've heard horror stories about, oh, they can buy dislikes and they can buy this and and I'm like, fine. The whole point is I'm still going to put something up at the end of the day that made me happy. And just like everybody here knows, you might post something and then 2 minutes later, 2 or 3, I think it was like the setting, and I just didn't change anything because it was the first time I came back. I was noticing that it said slow chat too, but I think it was just like the default when I first set it up. But the next time I'm on, I'll make sure that it's not that crazy. But anyway, like I was saying, just do what makes you happy. And there's too much, and if you come in and you see a lot of negativity on it, just wash it off, man, because the whole point is you produced something that made you happy and you uploaded it. And another thing too is if you upload something that you did and forgive me for putting it so frankly, that's half-ass, you'll know. And it will bother you more than any dislike or any negative comment on the planet. And it will eat at you and eat at you and eat at you if you're a true creator. No matter how many times people tell you it's bad, it will not bother you near as bad as if you think yourself it's not your top-notch work. So just let's all support each other, and let's have everybody's back. And if somebody gets negative, what was it? I think my mom used to say, or what was it they said? You can catch more flies with honey, or was it sugar, than vinegar? Yeah, something like that. Basically, more people will hang around if you just smother them with goodness and to stay away from the negativity. I know that we're all going to go there at times. We're all human. It's just going to happen. And in this present climate, it's really hard sometimes. But we all love drones. That's one thing that can keep us all together. Whether it be DJI, whether it be Autel, whether it be Cheerson, whether it be Wingsland, any of those. We all love drones, and that's part of why we're here. We all love looking at the footage that we pull out of these things. We all love seeing what we're the pictures, and we want to. And that's what's so cool when you see something come out of your drone. When you see something come out of your drone, and you're thinking, "Oh man," you're like, "Oh." I mean, I know that you all, when you're loading them up in your computer and you're seeing them come in, you're thinking, and you know that there's one or two of those pictures you were pretty sure that when you saw it on that monitor, you're like, that's going to be a badass picture. And then you get it in, and it's in your computer and it's loaded up, and you're just, anxious to get it edited and start sharing with people. And that's the whole juice out of it, man. Is you seeing what you made yourself, and then you take it, and you're the one that edits it. You're the one that puts in the transitions and the music, and then it's completely yours. And no matter what anybody does. There you go. I knew somebody would hit me with the quote. So somebody would hit me with it and just tell me about it. And with that said, I've been on for about an hour now, and I'm going to go spend some time with my wife and my family. I want to talk about, like I said, please go check out the Drone Network. All those guys affiliated with them, please go check out Perth West RC. Go by and see Dave. Go by and see Donnie Hampton with Big Drone Flyer 77. And everybody that's in the chat. Rick, Ron, Steve, Kenny, Brundlebuggy. I'm trying to see everybody. I'm thrilled that you're here. I'm glad that you came by. And let's all spread this positive drone community wonderfulness to the world. And I will give you all some updates here in a couple of weeks as to when the next episode will be on. With that, I'm very grateful you guys were here tonight. And I'm going to shut things down. Peace. See you in a couple of weeks.